As a classical musician who generally plays classical music, music like that allows me to be creative and bring my artistic voice into completely other genre of music. And so that brings me to a question that I have for you. Do you remember the last time you loved to create? When was the last time you created something that you were so passionate about that it led to a professional opportunity that allowed you to expand or grow your career? As young artists, we are full of great artistic and creative ideas that are so profound that the concepts alone can change the world. Whether we are in the practice room, the painting or dance studio, we use our artistic canvases to create a world full of imagination, fantasy, and vision for the common man. We do all this as young artists and more. So, how do we, as young artists, bring all of what we love to do and spend countless hours on, practice time on, into something that is fruitful and profitable for us? Many of us have these great ideas, yet have absolutely no idea how to articulate them into something that can make money for us. Many of us have the starving artist mentality, and we believe that we can't possibly be a professional artist unless we're starving. And so I'm here to tell you today that the starving artist mentality, it must die. And I am going to encourage you, no, I'm just going to tell you that you have to dig the grave and bury the starving artist mentality today. As long as I can remember, I have always been passionate about two things: law and music. When I was a little boy, I was obsessed with LA Law, popular television show from the 80s. You remember that? I remember seeing Blair Underwood, an African-American actor who played and portrayed this very charismatic lawyer. And I wanted to be just like him. And so in high school and partway through college, I took lots of political science and English courses to put me on the track to becoming a lawyer. The other side of my desire coin was music. I studied music, the violin, from elementary school, and I was always told that if I continued to play, I would receive a scholarship to college, which eventually I did. It was in college that I met an African-American professional violinist who encouraged me. And she inspired me so much that I eventually dumped my law studies and pursued music full time. During my senior year of college, I befriended several African-American string players from various institutions. And we all had a lot of things in common. We all also had one major concern, that there was a lack of diversity at our respective institutions. And so rather than complain about it, because there weren't really any African Americans that I saw who were going out pursuing professional careers or even continuing their musical studies, I decided to do something about it. And so I formed the Young Eight. The Young Eight was an African-American string octet comprised of students who attended various institutions around the country: the Juilliard School, Indiana University, Manhattan School of Music, the Boston Conservatory, among others. And our goal was to create a space for venues to be able to present African American string players. And to my discovery in creating this project, we were the only string octet in the country. And so I worked really hard to make my octet successful. I remember sponsoring fundraising activities and literally knocking on doors to get the word out about our projects. Our mission as the Young Eight was to create spaces for younger people who looked up to us and be role models to them, not only as musicians, but more sensitive subjects for the average teenager. How to get good grades in school, how to dodge peer pressure when you're an African American, and most importantly, how to be a successful artist. And all of these activities allowed me to see 11 successful seasons with the Young Eight. And the most amazing thing about all of this is I was still a student. So, during my time with the Young Eight, I learned invaluable lessons and tools that most young artists don't think about today. Accounting, marketing, advertising, how to run a business, or even just your own ensemble. And the most important, how to stick to your vision, especially when you don't feel like it. Many times I wanted to give up. Those skills are so important. And because of such, I have become a better artist, teacher, scholar, patron, student, and creative being. So here's the thing. Most young artists, and some older artists as well, believe that business is a dirty word. And we shy away from things, anything that has to do with business and dollars and cents. And so generally when we do that, one or two things happens. We give up and quit, or we go broke. But today's young artists, I'm here to tell you, if you want to be successful, and I know so many of you do, you must be entrepreneurial. Today's young artist is not only talented and creative, we are articulate. We are intelligent. We are entrepreneurial. We are fiscally responsible. At Seattle University, where I teach, we mentor our students to not only do the very best as a performing artist, because that's important in this competitive market, but you must also be entrepreneurial. So we encourage our students to take courses in accounting and marketing and business development, and also obtain a minor in entrepreneurship. Because those students who study with us are not only learning how to be the best artists they can be, but they are learning how to be leaders who will go back to their respective communities and create opportunities for others. So, young artists of today, whether you are sitting here in this audience, watching the video, or hearing about it from a friend, right now is the time. We must all be entrepreneurial. We have a responsibility to our artistic selves to do more. The days of waiting by the telephone or our email inboxes for opportunities to arise is over. We make those opportunities arise. And we do this by creating art and learning the business needed so that others may be touched. No more starving artists, because without art, we starve the very soul of our humanity. Take the time and sacrifice your ego so that you may learn more. We are leaders, we are strong, and we are a community. So join me as we move forward into the age of artist entrepreneurship. Thank you.